connect. Talking the talk with Kate and Jim, and walking the walk, just listening. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has a name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like Levy, stop rubbing, or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jim always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing, or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. Perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mix and transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jim always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue and let you stop rubbing, or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. Always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing, or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping.
Welcome back to the channel. It is Friday the 5th of November, the day before Jimbo and I 17 years ago said I do, and the day before 19 years ago today, I gave birth to our beautiful boy. So tomorrow is a very special day. And yesterday was a very special day as well, because Daniel Levy, was he pushed? Did he get sacked? It's like Robbie Williams. Take that all over again. Was he pushed? Did he leave? You know, who knows? But we will be delving in it today. The members link is in the posts section if anyone does want to come on. Jimbo, how you doing, my darling?
Yeah, good. Always good, you know me. I woke Kate up this morning and told her it was Christmas Day. Well, she
honestly,
was all tired and groggy. I went, wake up, it's Christmas Day.
And what did I say?
I can't repeat it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not good in the mornings anyway, let alone when someone's lying to me, trying to get me excited for a day that's not really here. You should have just said it was Daniel Levy Day. But look, let's have a look who's in the chat. What we will do is then give our thoughts on Levy, and then if any people, I can see Martin in the back, want to come on, we will bring them on. We've got Potato Stew in the house saying, good afternoon, Kate and Jimbo. Really looking forward to the stream today. Exciting times. That's me. Big up, Benji. Good to see you. Shemtan says, afternoon, Kate. Princess Kate said, Jimbo, hope you are both wonderful, happy and healthy. We're good, thank you. Big up Scott Colliver. Big up El Dante, been a member for 15 months. Jesse's been a member for 8 months. Thank you. Loving the new logo. Phil P's here. Woo! One of the head protesters for Levy out. All Things Tottenham TV says hello and good afternoon, Kate, Jimbo, and all on the chat. Afternoon to you, Jesse. Big up to you, Ed M. Brian Hill leaves and all hell breaks loose. Paul Pablo is here. Big up to you, Paul. If I can find your comment. There you are. Then we've got Reform Patriot says, good afternoon. Hope you're well. It's a new dawn. I'm praying the grass is greener. Plus Angela Rayner has gone too. Yes, Angela Rayner has just resigned from cabinet as well. Thank God. Did I say it's November? Did I say it's November? I meant September, obviously. I'm in a bit of a dazzle about Levy. I've been on TalkSport this morning as well, having a chinwag. Phil says, to all the Spurs family worldwide, this is the dawn of a new era. And oh, yeah, you're welcome. Big up, Rob, always united, designed to win, is also here. Lou is in the chat as well. Lovely Lou. Where is she? There she is. Good to see you, Lou. Big up, Drew saying, afternoon, Alan, Jimbo and Chatters. Alan? Do I look male today? I don't know. Maybe I do. Only 16 Fridays till Christmas. # reasons to be cheerful. Exactly that. Mario is here. We may be getting our club national news. Paul G is also here. Big up to you. Ben's been a member for 22 months, saying 22 months after Independence Day. Big up. Afternoon, Defarsha. Brad is here saying, hi, Kate and Jimbo. Apparently, he was the longest running owner of a football club, stayed way too long, should have gone after we built the new stadium or even before that. Big up, Daniel 90. Big up to Guy Dunn. Says, I'm a little indifferent. They do say be careful what you wish for. Let's just see what unfolds. Bless you. Big up, folks and chat. Day one without the con man, and it's the club's 143rd birthday. Woo! And it's also Freddie Mercury's heavenly birthday today as well. But big up, Ryan. Big up to you, Steve D is in the house as well. I don't know. Apparently, someone called Levy has left the club. I'm not sure who that is. Someone in the board or something. And big up for being a member for 22 months. Before I bring out Martin Knightsbridge, Jimbo, I know you wanted to have your say on Levy, so I shall let you crack on first of all. You're on mute, love.
I don't want to. It's not all bad with Levy. Everyone's like, I've seen some of the comments people have made. It's like he has done some good for this club, you know, and we know he's neglected the football, but let's not forget what he has done for the club. You know, there's a lot of good he's done, and his time has come to go. He's pushed his luck, I think, with most clubs now with the negotiating. I said to Kate after this last window, how are we going to go back to certain clubs? You're right, Brian. How are we going to go back to certain clubs after some of the dealings we've had this summer? It's going to be very hard, but now maybe it's going to be easier with someone else in charge, and they can build some bridges. So, but look, let's not forget some of the good he's done as well. It's all right hitting on him with all the crap with the football that has been neglected. I'll be the first one to admit that, but he's done some good as well. You know, not only at Tottenham, with the community around Tottenham. So it is a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what Paddy said here. This is how I feel. What a 90% of the pod's going to talk about now. Daniel Levy's done good and bad, and people should leave it at that and wish him well. Yeah. We're certainly in a much better state after, like, now he's leaving than we were when he arrived, and that's all you can really ask for.
He's made us very sustainable, Kate, and we're one of the richest clubs in the world now. So, look, for this club to move on, right, and become what it should be, right, it is a world-class football club, because we are a massive club, no matter what anybody says. Morning, Brian. We're a massive club, no matter what anybody says. And for us to get back on the world stage as a massive club, I think Levy had to go, because I think there was always that he was going to always hold us back with the signings, with the wage structure. You know, I'm quite with the wage structure. I just look at teams like Man United, and you know some of the other teams, maybe Villa as well, how much they pay in wages, and it hasn't done them that good. You know, look at the money Man United are losing hand over fist. So a lot of it's got to do with the recruitment, getting the right recruitment in. You know, getting the right players in. I'm going to go back to Dembele again. The money we paid him on Dembele was, whoever brought him in was an absolute joke. They should have been fired on the spot. But look, if we get good people in place now and build a good structure, this team can move forward, and we can become one of the best teams in the land with the right people behind it.
Yeah, Steve D says, I'll be the damp squid The Lewis family have never injected cash into the team and nothing's changed. Swap Levy on a wage, working to Lewis's tune for someone else on a wage, working to the same tune. I personally think the big change is that Vivian Lewis is getting more involved, and she's a huge football fan and wants to bring success to the club. Yeah, and her brother Charlie, I think his name is. So I think there will be a change, but we've got Mr. Martin Knightsbridge, our Spanish correspondent, who actually broke the news to us yesterday about Daniel Levy's sacking. He rang Jim and said, "Have you heard?" And we were like, "What?" And he went, "Haven't you heard?" We was like, "What?" He went, "Levy's gone." I swear, Martin, I thought you was lying. Is he there? As he froze? Our Spanish correspondent, are you there? What a nice frozen picture, though. He's got a nice wry smile there. Let me remove it for a minute, and then we'll bring it back when his internet gets sorted out. Yeah, I mean, Ed says not much will change whilst Enoch still own the club. Vinay is Levy's man. Charrington is Enoch's.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think that they've pushed Levy out, you know, and said to him, you know, if you stand down, it's off your own accord then. But I think things will change at Tottenham now. I'm convinced they will.
Yeah, it was a huge step up from Sugar, but here he is. He's back, our Spanish correspondent.
Yeah, Martin, it was working to a minute you said something to me, and it went.
We're going to have to change your name to sound more exotic.
Exactly.
Martin, how are you feeling about Daniel Levy leaving the club?
Well, I'll give my is it synopsis? Is that the right word?
Yeah, that's the right word.
Right. I'm not his biggest fan by any means, but you know, just a quick overview. He took on a shit side basically, and then he's built it up, and he's built all his revenue streams, and you know. But what got forgotten in that is you wouldn't have these revenue streams and all the money and all this other stuff if it wasn't for the football club, and that was the one thing that got neglected. So I'm totally on board with everyone that feels that way, and a lot stronger than I do, you know, and put their time and effort into going and do what they feel's best for them. And I applaud them. But yeah, I wasn't staunch like that. I won't like do what Brian does and go and stand out in the freezing cold for 8 hours a day. You know what I mean? That is pure commitment. And I ain't got that in my life for nothing. So, but yeah, I think he's done everything around, and as I say, he's built that stadium. He's got all the different revenue streams and all the concerts, and he's built the brand, but he hasn't built the team. And at the end of the day, before he come along and built the brand, we only cared about the team. Now he's built all the spaceships and all the nice things all around it, with all the trinkets, but we still really only care. If any of us said to us that you'd be more successful in White Hart Lane, 99% of people would have stayed, because you know we don't really care too much. If it done what it was told to, that was going to generate more money and we was going to compete and do this and do that, I don't think everyone would have a problem with it. But because it's all talk and not much action, you know, he's built it up. As I say, he's come from a millionaire club. And he's built up into billionaires. It's a different level of thinking. It's a different structure. And I just think it's above his pay grade. And, you know, speaking of pay grades, he's had a good pay grade. So, you know, off he goes. See you later. And hopefully now we get what we was all hoping for, and is to see success on the pitch and not the biggest bar in Europe and all that sort of crap. Because I don't even drink, so it don't even bother me. So.
I think to move forward as a big club, you need to have the money coming in. The Spurs have got that now,
exactly.
So we got that to thank him for. I think if we would have stayed behind where we was, we wouldn't have the money coming in that we've got coming in. So now, if we get the right people at the helm to take us forward with the money we're generating, we can become what we should be. You know, one of the biggest clubs in the Premier League.
Well, that's it. We'd all love to win titles, Jim, and be up there and have that 10, 15, 20-year spell like Manchester United did. When I was growing up, I used to look at that and think, wow, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Champions League, watching Beckham and Giggs running down the wing. You were envious. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
How much you hated them, you'd have all loved it to be in your club. And, you know, I don't think we're all expecting titles and this and ever, but at least knock on the door and have a go. But when you're watching Liverpool spend 400 odd million after they've just won the championship, and we've whacked out not even 100. I don't count what Kudus and Simmons. You're looking just over 100 million. The other stuff was on last year, and the other two are loans. So, like, we spend more than that normally. So now we're in the Champions League. After he got out of jail, he put our club at risk. Him and Ange. He put it at risk last year because we were 90 minutes away from it being really, really bad. Really bad. One Johnson fluky bounce deflection goal was that between us and potentially a good run in the Champions League. That's the fine margins of football.
Yeah.
And, you know, it could have easily gone the other way. And then all the people that were Levy out and the staunch like Brian and everyone else, they would have been well in their right to go hammer and tongs and, you know, bang down them doors because it was really bad.
I mean,
the fact that we had to get out of jail free.
But let's be honest, the Europa League did paper over the cracks. It made a lot of people happy. Me being one of them, right? I was massively happy we won the cup, and it did paper over the cracks of the season.
In the Grand Canyon, Jim.
Yeah, morning, Ben. It papered over the cracks. But look, at the end of the day, right, he's gone now. Right, he's left us in good shape in the sense of the finances for us to move forward with the right people behind us. Right, so if they put the right people in the right places, we could move forward and over the next few seasons be a scary team. Look, at the end of the day, this window for me has been one of the best windows I can remember for the actual caliber of player we brought in. Because the four players we brought in are absolutely top class players. So they are going to make.
Yeah, I don't remember things like that. You might get one, couple of miss-hits and the young uns, but not for like bang, bang, yes, yes, yes. There's people out there don't want Simmons, there's people out there don't want Paulina. You're going to get that. But let's say if you don't like them as a player, you can't knock their caliber and what they could be.
I mean, I was watching clips this morning of Xavi, right, playing for his country, and he was up against a Cucurella. He had Cucurella in his pocket, mate. He scored 2 goals and he assisted 1, and he was off the planet. I mean, to have that guy at our club, I cannot wait to see him on the pitch for wearing this top.
Do you think it's coincidental that we had I don't want to say such a good window because the likes of Eze and Morgan Gibbs-White went past us, but we did sign 4 players that walk straight into our first team and make us better in Kudus, Paulinho, Xavi and Kolo Muani. Do you think it's coincidence that window happened and now Levy's gone? Do you think he's been playing for a long time?
I think the plans were there and maybe he had, like, I think at the back end of last season, after he's gone to the owners and gone, look, we risked it, but we got it. And they're like, nah, this is not a toy. Do you know what I mean? You've had enough. And I think the wheels started then. Before that, with the
we're losing our Spanish correspondent again.
Charrington thing, but I think. Hello.
You're back.
Am I back?
You're back, Martin.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I was just saying. I think things were going in place, and I think listen, we ain't never going to be privy to. We can all make sense of what we think happened with Gibbs White and Eze and things like that. But I think there were things in place, and I think just them 2 things were nailed in a coffin. If it is down to him that it took too long, could have got him in earlier, or was negotiating nickel and dime. If there was something to do with it, and the owners are looking and going, no, this ain't, because don't forget Charrington and Vinay, they haven't been there through a transfer window to see how he really acts. They might have been told. But they haven't seen it with their own eyes. And then now they've seen it and they've gone, nah, this is why we are where we are. You know, so I do think things are in place. But at the same time, I think it might have been a gradual thing. I think this just got stepped up in in how things went this window. So yeah, I think it's a mixture of both. I think it's a mixture of his actions and them looking that way anyway.
Yeah. Big up, Benji. Good to see you, Mr. Levy out. Is Levy gone? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling like normal. It's we'll have to see the future. I'm quietly confident about the future, but we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see how the football club evolves over these next coming months and years. It's a 144-year-old business, 143, whatever it is. It's businesses that are this old don't move quickly. So we'll have to see how the business evolves under new leadership and hopefully more delegated. I don't think the football club is in a position to have one bloke that has a say in multifaceted issues. We now need to decompartmentalize this business. There now has to be under this new umbrella structure. Now we are a multi-billion-pound faceted company. He has built a juggernaut of a company. It's an unbelievable achievement what he's done to build a company that big from 28 million quid. I've seen it with in property deals my dad has done over the years, buying things for money and then selling it for stupid money. It's a very difficult thing what he's done, but unfortunately, no one cares about that. And I don't care about it either, because at the end of the day, Tottenham Hotspur isn't a multifaceted business venture for me. It's not an entertainment business. It's not a property empire. It's not a merchant. For me, it's a football club. For me, it's a hobby that I will have for the rest of my life, and you can't separate me from it. You can't separate any of us really in this chat unless you don't support the club. Unfortunately, under Mr. Levy's tenure, that facet of the business wasn't necessarily looked at, which is why we haven't had the success. I don't think Levy's leaving because he's been. I think he probably has been pushed, but I don't think he's been sacked. I think there is multiple reasons. I mostly think his daughter's in university in America now, so he can't be in control of a football club and go and see his daughter every 3 weeks. He's going to want to spend time with his daughter in the States where she's at university. That the football club needs to have multiple people in charge of this person needs to be in charge of this. This person needs to be in charge of that. But I think Levy's not the sort of guy that will allow that to happen. He wants to be, he is a control freak, just like most self-made businessmen are control freaks. I've learned that from my dad, and I've learned that from my partner's dad. When you build a business on your own, you treat it not as a business. You almost treat it like a personified person. You almost treat it like a person. And I think Levy is now. You can't treat this as a football club. He can't treat this as a person anymore. It's now time that this business is treated as a business, and the right people in charge of each sector of the business has to be top notch. We've got the top notch stadium. We've got the top notch training ground. We've got the concert venues. We've got everything for this gargantuan business to not just be one of the biggest football clubs in the world, but to be one of the biggest businesses in the world. So he deserves massive amounts of credit, but it's time for Tottenham Hotspur to be where as Jimbo said earlier,
get up there.
It's now time. It's now time for Tottenham Hotspur to be amongst the elite. It's time for Tottenham Hotspur to be one of the big 10 clubs in the world in terms of actually winning stuff as a football club, because we've got everything now. There's no excuses. Yeah. We've got to start winning.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, Kate, for someone to come in and buy this club, right, they haven't got to do anything except concentrate on the football, because everything else now is going to take care of itself with the right people in the right place. And I 100% agree with Ben where he said that one person running a business like this, right, as Levy wants to take control of everything, you can't do it. It's too big. You need to have people in place. And I think this is what Lewis's kids are going to do. You know, they're going to put the right people in the right places, and we're pushed forward. And I think that over the next few years, we're going to see a massive difference in this club going forward for the best.
Big up Vindaloo with the super chat saying, with Ange gone, I was upset. And now Levy gone, the Arsenal legend bought us 25 years of comedy gold. That fella deserves a statue. I'm going back to bed. Big up Jimbo, Kate, Benjamin, Martin, and big up chat. Big up Vinders. That's enough reason for me to want Levy out. The fact you called him an Arsenal legend. But big up. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, you can have him. AJ, what's your thoughts?
On the planet is.
What's your initial thoughts on Levy?
He's honest.
Levy going.
I didn't even know about this. I didn't even know about it until Soren messaged me, dropped me a message, and was like, "Have you heard?" Then I was like, "Heard what?" And it was like, "Levy." He was like, "Levy's gone." I was like, "Pull the other one." I was like, "What's up?" It was like, "No, Levy's gone." I was like, "Right." So I had to do a little bit of looking, and it didn't take very long to look before people were busting a nut and excitable over the fact that he'd stepped down. Whether he stepped or pushed, obviously, we don't really know. But the official statement, I do believe, is that he has stepped down from his role. But I think to myself, is he really the devil that he's painted to be? Is he the bad man that people will have you believe? For certain, when it comes to footballing matters, what he has done with us as a club, as a brand, off the pitch is incredible. And anybody that says that is blinded by their hate of the man. What he has turned us into under Alan Sugar, I think Alan Sugar managed to stabilise us. I think we were in something like 10, 12 million pounds worth of debt. Levy has taken over, and in his tenure, we have gone from a club scraping by to one of the richest clubs in world football, not just in the Premier League, but in world football. That takes some doing. The revenue streams that have been created are incredible. No other club on the planet has the revenue streams we have. We've got our fingers in so many pies, but you can't do it all yourself. You try to do it all yourself, you spread yourself thin, and you start missing things, you start making mistakes. And whilst he was an incredible businessman, and we are reaping the rewards of that financially, the footballing side of it was on the back burner. That took a back seat. And as a football club, which is what we are first and foremost, that can't happen. You need to start seeing some correlation between the revenue and silverware. And with the exception of what we picked up last season, which whether you want to say it's a fluke, luck, how the chips fell, whatever, the fact is we still won a trophy. But one trophy in God knows how many years, is not acceptable. Is not acceptable for the finances we have available, for the revenue we generate. So
I still think, AJ, sorry to interrupt you, right? Just to get so I don't forget, but I still think that you can't blame Levy for all that because the recruitment.
No. Absolutely. I agree. And you can't, when everything's good, you can't say it's nothing to do with Levy. And then when everything goes wrong, you go, it's all Levy's. Either he is part of the package and you have to give the man praise when things go right, or he isn't anything to do with it. So when it goes wrong, you can't blame him. I think he's culpable for many things, but also he's to be thanked and praised for a lot of things. Now, the recruitment, everyone's had a part in it, from managers, from staff, from agents, from the owners. Everybody has had their hands in it to some degree over the course of time that Levy's been here. Is he solely to blame for everything? Absolutely not. And anyone that says he is kidding themselves. They're blinded by their hatred of the man. But also, the reverse is true. He isn't single-handedly to thank for everything. He's a key contributor. He's a main part in why we are where we are. But it's a club. It's run by many, many people. Everyone's doing a very, very hard job, a very thankless job sometimes, because we as fans want to see prizes, don't we? We want to see trinkets. We want to see shiny silverware. And if we're not winning that, we don't even think about everyone working the long hours, trying to get deals done, not seeing their families for days, for weeks, everyone putting in a shift. That goes unnoticed. So I think it was time for him to step down. I think it was time for him to go, because we now need, I think I caught the back end of what Ben was saying, and we're in a position now where somebody can come in and just concentrate completely on the football, take us to that next level on the pitch. We are there with our revenue streams off the pitch. We're financially secure. We're in very good shape. So let's see somebody come in now and marry that up with the performances on the pitch.
Do you know one of the sad things is, Kate? One of the sad things is that teams like City and teams like Chelsea, you couldn't talk about in the same breath as Tottenham before this new era. Before this new era of the billionaires taking over, we were so far advanced to them as a club, you know, trophy-wise, history-wise. And then what I think that we've kind of been left behind with we're in this new era, and this is the time now for us to catch up and then stamp our authority back on the game, because we have been left behind with these teams. You know, City and Chelsea, the trophies they've won compared to us now is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, they've won everything. Martin, I was going to ask you, obviously Levy stepping down or being pushed or whatever you want to look at it. Enoch is still in charge. So do you think anything's going to change? Do you expect sort of next summer us to be being frivolous in the window and spending left, right and centre and buying these big players?
Do you know what I actually do?
Oh, I got a tingle.
Yeah, no, because I just from my way I see it is they've trusted him to run it, and they just every year they watch it grow and grow and grow, and it's worth $500 million, 1 billion, 2 billion, and they're like, yeah, he's doing well. And I think he's just got to the point now where he is at his ceiling or past his sell-by date, whatever phrase you want to use, and now the bad points are starting to show. So there may be, because he can only generate so much money, and if he is his target, where can he go from here? He can't add a runway strip and bring in the A380 coming over the top. You know, there's not much more he can do. He's built the whole tourist attraction. It's like Thorpe Park. You know, it's got all the little things. He has done what he can. So whether it's a financial decision or they ever go, right, he's like the bricklayer, he's built it, and now someone's going to come in and manage it. Do you know what I mean? Like the building.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that that's why they're doing this. Maybe it's copium, hopium, whatever you want to do. But I would like to think, I don't think if they was happy with what he was doing and the direction he was going, I don't think he would have been pushed.
No.
Or to step aside. So I honestly believe, and I say, you can clip this and I might be wrong, but I think it's going to take 2 years for us to work out before everyone jumps on the unit. We might not like what happens in January, but we'll go, all right, we'll see what happens in the summer. So they're going to be given a year before the real heaviness comes in. And if they're doing what people ask, then that diminishes a little bit more. And it ain't that the likes of Ben and Brian Steele and all that, they're going to be wrong. They're going to be getting what they want. So they're not going to be moaning for the sake of moaning or standing outside the ground and protesting just for the sake of it because they want to do this. They're getting what they want, and so is everyone else. You know, I don't think, I listen to a lot of like the Ben and Brian and all that. They all do give him credit. They're not all 100% no, he's a complete twat. And they're not interested. They all do appreciate what he's done there, but they want more on the pitch, you know. And they just, as I say, Ben says it's an hobby. For me, it's a hobby. I love to watch it. I've loved the club, but I'm over here. Ben and that are spending thousands and thousands of pounds travelling around the country.
Oh, travelling around the country.
Sitting there going, well, why am I doing this? What is this for? And then you've got, I'm back. Yeah, am I back?
You're back.
Yeah. So I just think that the people monetary invested, I'd give them, props for what they do. And sometimes I'd love to do and be able to do what they do. But when they're spending all that money and all their time, and it is devoting their whole life to it, like live and breathe it, and they're not getting nothing for it, I'd like to think that, you know, somewhere along the line, they get their rewards, you know, in the backing from the club and producing on the pitch, and you know, they're angry, and I get it. Do you know what I mean? And you know,
Yeah.
but as I say, for me, sitting over here, it's a little bit more. I'm a telly fan. I can get over there now and again. Do you know what I mean? But you know, these people live and breathe it, and I get it. And at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We'd all like to be successful. So
Yeah,
as well as I think the strategy behind what they've done, there's got to be a reason in moving forward in a different direction. As I say, the business is there, the whole roof and everything's done. That's what he was set out to do. Now move on. Now let's do that.
He's still going to be earning his money, Martin. He's not selling his shares. According to
of course,
ITK, according to ITKs and according to Sky, there's not going to be any change of ownership in terms of the shares of Tottenham Hotspur. So he can sit back and he can reap the rewards of what he's built. But it's time for the business.
He took a lot of stick. He deserves a bit of a break. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not going to be a multifaceted millionaire until he excels. So if they've said to him, look, we've got a 2-year plan, we're getting out, then you're going to get your big bung. Because he ain't skint. He ain't got to worry about paying the electric bill. Do you know what I mean? So he ain't, is he? Do you know what I mean? Getting his Tesco discount loyalty card out. But, you know, that's when he's going to be a very, very rich man. But they're already billionaires, so they don't really care. So it is just a case of there's got to be an exit strategy.
He's still going to get a very, very good salary that people would dream of. He's still going to get a very good salary.
I honestly believe he's just going to be pushed aside and carry on with all this hotel and a property development, because I think that's what he really loves. I think he thinks he's been ambitious with the football team, and he thinks it's just about money. He doesn't know that putting money in the wrong place isn't a good thing. So I think he believes he's been ambitious, but it doesn't match what everyone else thinks, or a lot of fans think.
I think we're now at a stage where hopefully with the way we're going, there's going to be a lot more people that are going to take a lot more of the pie, rather than having we saw it with the Eberechi deal. We said on that TV thing with Gary Neville, I don't take part in any football things whatsoever. 2 days later, Daniel Levy personally is locked in talks with Steve Parish. So he barefaced lied in front of millions of people.
He can't help himself, Ben.
He can't help himself. So now, hopefully, there's going to be more people doing more jobs, and they're going to share the slice of the blame pie. And hopefully, we'll start talking about football again.
Just on that overlap interview, know the bit where he stood there and he said, like, I think I'll be remembered when I'm gone. We all took that as like a tongue-in-cheek thing, or him giving it his ego. But I think now that was him saying to us, you know, I think he knew he was going in, because he's done the walk round, show the trophies, look what I've done, sit here, look at my big stadium, we're having a concert here tonight. You know, this is his little baby. And do you now think that there was something in that?
We don't know. We really won't know. We won't know what Vivian and Charlie Lewis are really thinking. I know Charlie himself is a self-made man in his own right. Yes, his father has given him a good start in his life, or we'd all wish we'd have multi-millions to start. But he's made himself his own company. He's done very, very well for himself, Charlie. And Vivian is a very passionate self-made work person as well. So hopefully these people that have done it for themselves can come on there and give a bit of information, because we don't want only one person's voice. You need, when you have a company that's this big, you need multiple people with multiple voices, and you come to, it's all, hopefully the more information is always good. More information, you can't, that's too much. More information is always good when it comes to running a business. So hopefully there's a lot more people around that table with a say, rather than, I'm now going to, you can all go to the side, I'm doing this. We can't have control freakery in a company that's this big. You can't have it. It's not possible. You can't, a business that's this big cannot function like that. You can't stop.
it's like that all or nothing thing when they're sitting down, the players and sitting down with Jose or Poch and go, well, I'm going to go to Daniel. Like, what
Can't
company
have that
are
anymore.
you can go straight above everyone and go straight to the money man? It just doesn't
You
happen,
can't have
does
that.
it? It
Can't have
doesn't.
that anymore. You've got to report in any business to your line manager or whoever your person in command is, and hopefully it means that for our whether Thomas Frank is the manager in 4 years, we won't know. I hope he is, because I'm very excited by the way he conducts himself. Hopefully this gives him the platform to say, I'm the boss now. I'm going to report to my boss. He's going to report to his boss, and then there's a chain of command. There's a chain of command now, and hopefully this chain of command will no longer be. It needs to be a structured umbrella business. It's got, again, I'll use the word decompartmentalize. This is the concert business. It's that business. Tottenham Hotspur concerts, Pierre will see. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, whatever, all the companies. And hopefully there is a proper structure in every place of the company so it runs like a proper company.
Yeah. Big up to Rob Always United for becoming a member. Thank you very much. AJ, do you see this as a sort of a build up to us being bought out, perhaps, and ENIC selling, or do you think this is just a restructuring within ENIC?
The truth is, nobody knows. Like, none of us are privy to that information. And it could be either or. It could be, as Martin said, Levy's gone as far as he can go. He's maximized the revenue streams. He's turned us from a relatively poor club into one of the richest clubs in the world, where he can't go anywhere else now. And where's the place we're struggling most? On the pitch. So maybe it's time for someone else to come in and do that job and elevate us on the pitch to the same level we are as a financial powerhouse. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? That would be a good thing to see if the pitch, on the pitch antics represented what we're doing off the pitch. Also, it could be that they gear in to sell, but who's going to come in and pay? What are we worth now? Is it 4.55 billion? Well, how much are we worth? Who's going to come in and buy us?
Yeah. I don't think anyone knows the exact amount we're worth.
You know,
they said on Talksport they reckon 4 million they'd sell, but I don't know.
It's a lot of money, especially because of what Levy has built. It's not just a football team anymore. You're not buying the football team. There's so much that comes with it. We're now a brand. Say again, mate.
I said that's the problem, though, isn't it? We ain't just a football team anymore.
Exactly. So whoever, I think, because we are in the situation we're in now, anyone that comes in is going to be looking. Any prospective buyers are not just going to be coming in looking at a football club. They're going to be coming in and buying everything, a package deal. So, are we going to get the right owners? Are we going to get focusing on the football team?
Sorry to cut you off, AJ, but the way we've got to treat, although it is a private company, you almost have to treat it as it's a public company with shareholders. I don't think anyone's going to physically come in and buy 100% of Tottenham Hotspur. It's too big for that now, because of course you've got the shareholders, you've got actual people still own shares of the football club, like loads of people are shareholders. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those shares because I'd love one of those, but people, I think the maximum they're going to sell is 15-20% of the company. I don't think they're ever going to sell. And I think you've got to treat it like this person owns this much. You've got to treat it like a big business, because that's what it is now. It's no longer, as you all said, it's no longer just one business. It is a multifaceted empire. So you're going to buy little bits and pieces. So there's not going to be one guy that comes in and buys all of it, unless they've got extreme money. And we're talking not that billions, we're talking tens to hundreds of billions. We're
talking Jeff Bezos.
We're talking, people like that. People like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. That's who's going to buy an entire football club the size of Tottenham. Because it's still what's it called? It's still growing. It's almost like the universe. We're talking about the universe. The universe is expanding every single moment. That's like Tottenham Hotspur football. It is expanding every single minute with every little bit of land it gets to buy. Oh, this building's now coming up for sale. We're going to have that. It almost does it like AI. the way it acts. At the moment a building in the Edmonton area comes up for sale, the first person that's buying it is Tottenham Hotspur. They're straight there. They get a phone call, I'm buying that. Bang, we're having that. Another, a chair in the park is up for sale. Tottenham Hotspur are buying it. It's increasing in size constantly.
Yeah.
That's the only type of people that are going to buy this business, because I'm going to treat it like a business, because I'm talking about the entire empire rather than just the football.
Yeah.
The only person that can really buy that much of Tottenham is already extremely wealthy. And as I said, it's not billions, it's hundreds of billions.
Yeah, I agree. Big up Moondog coming with 2 super chats. First one saying a scary time, nothing to say, we will do better. And then coming out with me and Jimbo are going to buy it. Can you imagine Jimbo in charge of Spurs? He'd just be splashing the cash on
It'll be
everybody.
full of roses and happy balloons and confetti every time you walked in.
There'd be a statue of Kate outside the stadium.
Or a Mickey Hazard.
Yeah, of course. Got to get Mickey in there. Do you, Jimbo, I'm going to ask you this one first. A lot of people are saying that the protests might have had some sort of involvement in his going. Do you think that it did, or do you think that this is just completely separate to anything that the protest did?
I think the protest has probably made the Lewis family sit up and look more, right? But I honestly believe that this was always going to be on the cards. I said this 2 months ago, Kate, if you remember, that it's only a matter of time before Levy goes now. Because look, you've got to look at it, right? That we are a massive, massive club, and you can get these Arsenal fans and these City fans and Man United fans say we're just a little club in North London, but Tottenham is a massive club. It's a huge club, right? The history is unbelievable. And we've been stagnant now for so many years on the football pitch, right? Not doing anything. Nearly men getting to the Champions League final and not getting over the line. She just walked in the room, right? And not getting over the line. And Tottenham are too big for that, So I said to Kate months ago, I think it's just a matter of time before Levy goes now, because I always said that. Why Levy was there, even though I am an advocate of what he's done for the club on the financial side, which is huge. You can't take this away, right?
No, you can't.
Well, moving forward, Ben, right? Moving forward as a club, if you want to become a successful club, you've got to have big money coming in, right? You've got to. That's why the successful clubs now have got multi-billionaire owners, right? So I think moving forward, with if Levy was there, I think it would just be, if he stayed another 5 years, it would just be the same thing for the next 5 years. So I think the protest probably, I mean, the last one was huge, and not the last two, they were short, but one of them was of like 3,000. That probably pricked a few ears up. I think overall this was going to be on the cards anyway, Kate. What's that noise?
It's echoing.
What is it?
I think we're echoing through AJ's phone from what I think.
I can't hear an echo.
I think going forward, it's always had to happen for us to be back where we belong. But you got to look. We are not a million miles away, right? On the financial side, we're there, right? On the pitch side, when you look at our squad now, right? We're not that many players away from being a real top team, a tough team to beat. So I think a few more windows, and we could be, if they buy right, which I'm hoping we will, we could move forward right pretty quick. So I do believe that if Levy hadn't gone, it would have been just another 5 years of what we're doing, the nearly men, and a trophy once every fucking 10 years or so.
Can you still hear feedback, or is it gone?
Yeah, I
okay,
can
yeah.
It's not from my end. I think it might be between Kate and Jim.
Do you want me to go out and come back in?
It's gone now.
It's
you,
me.
Kate.
It's me. I am the problem.
You're
Sucker.
the problem, Kate.
I'm the.
Jim, you got to get a new missus, mate.
Right, now you're on silent, Kate.
Oh,
I actually said, "Oi, 17 years married tomorrow."
Yeah,
But yeah,
mate,
hopefully,
25.
Well, he could have done time and got rid of you and had a new one been out from there.
he's already had 2 before me. Bloody
Basically,
hell.
you're the Europa League trophy. Now he's got that. Now he gets that. He wants the Champions League.
Oh,
17
Benji.
years. 17 years
Um,
between the last trophy.
I didn't actually know that Timo Werner was part of the reason that Xavi Simons come to Tottenham. Did anyone else? Apparently,
Big up Turbo.
yeah, it's about time
We
he done
don't
something.
take good for us then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I actually went on TalkSport briefly this morning and had a chat about Levy, and they asked me when I expected to see the investment come into the club. Do I expect it in January? Do I expect us to go out and spend more money in next summer? I said next summer because January is a difficult window. Benny, are you expecting any change to come that quick, or am I being optimistic? Or
No, but as Jimbo said before, I think we're in a really good position now in terms of the squad we've got. We've bought 4 really quality players to come into that starting 11 that really improve us. We're now in a good position where we only really need to buy 1 or 2 players, and that's the position you want to be in. We need to improve 2 positions in January. Bang, left winger, left back. Those are the 2 positions we need to improve in, or cover, because I think Udogie is a good player, even though he hasn't been at the races this last year. Maybe it was because of fitness or injury or the rise of Jed Spence as well. Maybe we only need to buy 1 or 2 players. Buy those 2 players, and now that's the true mentality change. Tottenham's never the team that buys 1 or 2 players. We always buy 7. We always bought 7 players, even back to the days of the Magnificent 7 when we sold Bale. Bought 7 players. Mourinho came and bought 7. 7, 7,
Yeah,
7, 7, 7.
That was shit.
We need to start buying quality and one-off. Buy cheap, buy twice is one thing your mum's always told you. Buy cheap, buy twice. Cheap always works out expensive. So we need a left winger. Buy the best left winger we can physically get. And I was an advocate of getting Ademola Lookman in. Maybe Thomas Frank doesn't think Ademola Lookman's the right guy for him, especially with he's playing African Cup of Nations in January as well. So the toughest time of the season, when you really need your whole squad, he's not going to be there because Nigeria is always a contender for the African Cup of Nations. Fantastic team of players they've got over there. Maybe they'll go in for one of the 2 players we really, really wanted, which is supposedly Savinho and Rafael Leao. Buy one of those 2. And then the next window, what's the 1 or 2 positions we need to improve in? Buy those 2. Finish the window. We need to stop this quantity over everything. It's always quality now. We're in a good position now, but the structure of the football side is a very good structure. And we've got a man that can really nurture the young talent we have as well, in the likes of Bergvall and Gray, and when he comes back from Rangers, Mikey Moore. We've got some really good players that can come into this team, but we need to start buying 2 of something. If we need 2 players, you get 2 players, not 7. And it's good. And I'm going to answer the question that you asked before about the protest. I don't think the protest really moved Levy along, but I do think it got the conversation out there. The conversation has been brewing for a long time now. And the club have made a decision. They've seen we finished 17th, which is a disaster. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club should not be finishing 17th. We shouldn't be finishing 17th. It's not acceptable. So maybe that's the reason he's gone. He's seen that it's run away from him. Maybe he's seen it's run away from him and he can't manage it all anymore. So we don't know. We're not privy to the information that's in that boardroom. So no one's going to really know what really caused it. Protests did do some bits, but I don't think it's as much as we thought to. And that's me as someone that goes on almost every single protest.
Just brought awareness and negativity. As I say, they've built the brand. They're obviously going like that down the league last year. The sponsors and investors are going, what's happening here? And they're not happy. And then also you've got protests outside. They're screaming for his name. I think just collectively, they're all cogs in the wheel.
It got the conversation started. It got the conversation started.
You can't claim that you done it or it's all, but I think every bit of negativity towards the global brand that they're building to make us 3 to 4 billion to someone, and they go, well, am I going to buy that? Your fans, your customers, as they might call them, don't like this, that, and the other. You're finishing down there. I just think collectively, last year was such a crap season. Apart from that little bit of silver at the end,
Yeah.
as I say earlier, it could have been 90 minutes.
Sometimes you have to suffer to be happy. Sometimes you have to suffer. And
Yeah.
we really did suffer last year. We suffered as a fan
You even
base.
get West Ham fans bantering us. That's when you know you're like in a bad position.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just gifted 5 memberships. They went to Paige, Jack Spurs, SJ, Bob Down Under, and Ronnie. So big up to you guys. AJ, I haven't spoke to you for ages because you've been busy with life, obviously, a new family and whatnot. What were your thoughts on the players we brought in this window and the window in general?
I think we did very good business. I think Kudus was a great signing. Simmons was a pull a rabbit out of the hat. How the hell did that happen moment? Moani is only on loan, no obligation or option to buy. It's just a straightforward loan. So what we're going to have to do next season is try to look to make that permanent or sign a new striker. We're missing a left wing. We're missing a defender. It was a good season. Paulinho, what we needed that. We needed a defensive midfielder. And already, with the exception of the Bournemouth game, we've seen him, we've seen that position, we've seen him flourish. We've seen how important he is and how important he's going to be. His partnership with Bentancur is looking really, really good. I think it was a good window. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10 because we could have done more. We were very, very talked about. Many different people, many different outlets, all the ITKs who personally I don't think are worth anything. The amount of ITKs that only poke their heads up out of the parapet once a deal was pretty much confirmed, and everything pretty much ITK said led to nothing or nowhere. But, you know, that's just my personal opinion. I'm sure they'll have a different one. We could have done better. But you can always do better, right? Nobody. It doesn't matter how good. Liverpool were brilliant. Liverpool could have done better. Yeah. They could have got the Gay deal over the line. They didn't, though, did they? You know, no. They could have got that done. Then, even if they'd have got him, you can always do better.
Yeah, indeed.
But we've definitely gone and signed, even if it's on loan. We've definitely gone and signed 4 players that are needle movers, 4 players that make the team and the squad, but not just the squad, but the team, the first 11, they make them better. And that's all you can ask for is improvement. I hope that in January, we get at least one, as Ben was saying, you buy cheap, you buy twice. You want us to stump up the money, not for here's a promising kid coming through. You want, if we're going to be spending 60, 70 million, let's get a player that's proved it. Let's get a player that we know is week in, week out, a reliable, dependable player. You know, someone that's going to come in and push the team forwards. Not let's hope this player in a few seasons can turn into a superstar. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with buying young.
You need to do both, don't you, AJ? You need to do both.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with buying young, but we've done that for so many seasons now. And where has it got us? It hasn't.
As a terms of buying things, we were definitely shopping in Waitrose this year. We were definitely shopping in Waitrose and not Aldi this year.
Not the middle of Lidl.
All the players we were linked with were players we'd all go, yes, let's get that.
Yeah, exactly.
All the players we were shopping for. And it's good to say. But I'm gonna call bullshit on Kate's comment that she hasn't spoken. The only reason she's talked to AJ is because she knows it's 16 days to Christmas, 16 Fridays towards Christmas. She's getting AJ for the Christmas tree clout. That's why I see through you, Kate. I see through you. I see through you.
He's right. That's why AJ's the king of Christmas trees without any shadow of a doubt. I'm not sure how your Christmas tree will stand up with a little one this year, AJ, but we'll see. I was going to say thank you to Harmless Potato for gifting a membership that went to Stacey from the Mum Overlord. So big up to you. Jim, out of 10, what are you giving our transfer window?
I was going to say about Moani. I think that he will sign for us if we do well. I think he was. What if it's to believe what I've read? It was that he didn't want to have an obligation, or he wanted to see how he did at Spurs and how Spurs did. So I think if we're doing well and he enjoys it here, I think there'd be no trouble with him signing.
That's all complicated to do in the last couple of hours as well. All the
Yeah.
stipulations, isn't it?
I think out of 10, I give the window a 7. I think with the left-sided, we've got Moani can play there. Xavi can play there.
Richarlison is better on the left than he is as a number 9.
Richarlison can play there. So the left side is not for me a massive problem, right? But I would like to have had another left back or right back. I said to Kate, it didn't have to be a left back because Spence can play both sides just as well. So to me, it was one or the other. But look, I give it a 7. I think it was a really good window. It could have been better, but as you guys have said, if you'd have got the left winger and you'd have got the left back, you would still say we could have had another number 6 as backup. There's always more, right? But this is where I'm hoping going forward now with Levy gone and we get the right people in place that we will get these players in. You need to have a team like Liverpool have got and like a City have got, you know, to really push forward and win the big trophies. You know, you can't have one player of who's great in one position because if he gets injured, you've got one of the ones from last year going in there, and we know where that led us. So we need to get double ups on most of these positions, like City and Liverpool.
Yeah. Ben, I'll let you go because I know you've got to jump in 5.
Yeah.
What rating do you give our window out of 10?
I give it a 7 out of 10. It was a solid window. I'm happy with the 4 players. If you told me we would have signed 4 players to go directly in the first team at the beginning of the summer, depending on, I'd have been delighted with that. 4 players to go directly into the first team, really improve us, and it's now. I'm just happy we're shopping in the right places. I'm happy we're shopping in the top places for players. We're going for the players that every single team in the country would have in their team rather than signing, oh, that's Wilson Odebear. That's a weird one. Why do we want Wilson Odebear? And not that I'm the biggest hater of Wilson Odebear, but there are levels to this game. Would you sign Wilson Odebear or would you sign Xavi Simons if you had the chance? You sign Xavi Simons. That's a top quality player that would get in the majority of teams in Europe, not just the Premier League, Europe. So I'm delighted. So let's see what happens in the next one. We've got to keep it going now. We've got to have a consistent basis.
Yeah, exactly. Big up, AJ. Thank you for coming on. Always lovely to have you on. Give your lovely little man a big kiss from me.
Oh,
he's ignored you.
He's ignored me. And when I say his little man, that's nothing rude. He's
this is where I stand. Your husband is on stream. And you're sitting there.
What I'm talking about exactly that. Exactly that. Some of the things she says to me, I can't repeat them on here.
I can imagine.
AJ knows you've used him for his Christmas tree.
That's it. Thanks for opening my eyes, Ben. I now know. I've seen the light. I know.
You've seen the light, and Steve D blocks the door. We know all the Christmas things.
Much
AJ,
love, guys.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
Take care, AJ.
Later.
I'm going to jump as well, guys. I'll see you in a bit. Thanks for having me on as always, great Martin.
Yeah.
Always great to see you. Jim, why are you blocking the camera?
That's it.
Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you later. Cheers, everyone.
See you later, Ben. Take care.
Cheerio, Auntie Kate.
See you later.
Can I just answer Daniel? Because he put
this one. I actually agree with what he says, but he put, this makes no sense though, Jimbo. Why would you still not put the option to buy in instead of an obligation? Because if he does well, we've got no option and Juve might get a bidding war in the summer.
Well, what I read was, right, it might not be true, I don't know, but what I read was that he didn't want nothing put in there because
I did read that.
He wanted to see how he did at Tottenham and how Tottenham did to keep his options open. So if he was insisting on not having one on there, I don't think there's nothing, if we wanted him to come, the Spurs could have done. But I mean, I'd love to have had an obligation in there because I think he's going to be fantastic for us.
I hope so. I hope so. A straight line means if Moani hits it off like we hope, we don't have the power in the summer when it comes to doing a permanent deal. Juve will have all the power to create a war.
That's the risk we've taken to get a striker in.
I think
we don't live in a perfect world.
I think because it was so late, Daniel, we never really had a choice.
It's ours, wasn't it? It was ours.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Martin, out of 10, what do you give our window this year or this summer?
Well, I'm just going to start by saying, although I'm your Spanish correspondent and your new ITK for information, I'm also going to claim the Xavi Simons signing because I said to him 15 years ago when my boy was playing with him, listen, keep on going, son, you'll be good enough to play for Spurs. And no, he didn't say, who the hell are they?
To be fair, Martin, did you actually sort of see a lot of him? Because I know your son did play
with
him.
Yeah, he played with him. He went to school with him.
So was he impressive when he was that young? I mean, did you look
at the age of 5, he was playing in the under-7s, like when my boy was 2 years older than him. And he just had to play football. And the football come up to his knee, right? It was just, and he had that little cute hair and all that. But he lived and breathed it. His dad's a footballer. His dad played for Eindhoven, and at the time, his dad was a coach at Ajax. So his mum was living here with his brother, and they was here. And then you could just see it wasn't taught at the age of 5. You can't be taught. It was just he's genetically a footballer. He was always going to be it. And then he played for the team, and then they went to Valencia in a tournament for the whole community. And then Villarreal nabbed a few of them. And then he done about a year there. And they was going up once a month to play for Villarreal. We're talking under 9s. And then all of a sudden Barcelona went, oh, no, we're going to have some of that. And they took him and his whole family up to Barcelona. And they bought him a house up there. He was getting paid, I think it was like 5-10 grand a week. The family were getting at the age he was under 10 for them to come and stay up there and live up there. And then obviously he went through the whole La Masia system. So the hype about him has been from the day he was born. His dad named him after Xavi at Barcelona. His older brother's named after Faustino Asprilla.
Wow.
Right. Yeah, and he's got a cousin that plays in Holland that's named after another player. Like, they are football nuts, and it's genetically, there. So he was always going to be a footballer. And so everyone worries about the hype and will he handle the pressure coming to Tottenham? This is the lowest club apart from Leipzig, I'd say. He's going to have pressure, but at the age of 10, 11, going through that academy, he was captain of all the Barcelona teams. Then he went to PSG, he was captain them. I think he's been captain for all the under leagues in the national team. He has just dealt with pressure. And the first injury he had was last year. That's the first one that kicked him out for any length of time. So
wow, so
yeah.
Not only are you a Spanish correspondent, you're the new name dropper because Xavi Simons.
I've come on here. I thought I've got to hold my own here, right? Kate's doing the talk sports and the Mickey's on her intro and all this, and I thought I've got to come with something. I've got to have something to me, Dame. I can't just be good looking. But yeah, all right. So getting back to the window, I think the most important signing was Frank.
Yep,
that bumps it up for me. So my number would be 9 with the Frank. But if you're going on the substitutions on just the players and the ins and the outs, I'm around the 7 mark. But I think the importance of Frank won't ever get bought in to this. But you can already see just by the way he speaks. I know he messed up the weekend. I don't know, something's gone wrong. I'm just going to let that one go. But before that, you could see he thinks, and he would have his team sit there and do it. It gives you confidence. Just feel that, I would just like hammer him. You could hammer him is being handed out now like Ange was, because in the lower leagues that might work. And your system, you can stand by it. But when you're playing Premier League football, like Bournemouth, they've got what 10,000 seat stadium. There's probably like 100,000 people live in Bournemouth, mate. They made us look stupid the weekend,
Yeah.
right? And that comes down to management, right? Iraola done him, and I think Frank just couldn't. It wasn't his day. Let's give him that much.
Yeah.
So you can get beat by anyone. So to have the quality players, and as I say, the Tells and Greys and all the futures like Bergvall and Gray were never going to get as many minutes as they did last year if it weren't for injuries. So we would still be blooding them in this season, So to go for 4 players I think they are of top quality. I don't care that Paulini is 30. It doesn't bother me. He's there to do a job. If you pay 30 million, that costs you 10 million a season, and you let him go. That's what it costs you to be at the top. It's not. You can't do it on a budget no more. You can't. There's only one Leicester. That's only going to happen once, right? You ain't going to get that. So now. So then the next window, just go and get that one signing you want, and then say, right, we've got 4 or 5 months now till the window opens again. We need X, Y, Z. Let's get working on this and just do it properly. So, forget the politics with the Levy thing gone round because the window was shut. So I'm not going to bring him in and make it a 10. But, yeah, player signing 7 with Frank 9.
Yeah.
So,
I think 7.5, I would have gone with AJ. I think the fact that we bought 4 that walk straight into the first team and make us better is massive.
Yeah, but I also count the outgoings, Kate. We ain't sold nothing.
Yeah, true.
That is a factor.
Yeah.
Right? We've lost our captain, our talisman for 10 years, our hero and everything. It's gone for 20 million. And a keeper for 1 million. When you look at Chelsea, I don't like Chelsea's model, but you look at them, they've done like 280 out and 300 in or whatever, or 260 in. We can't even get 50. So that has to be factored in as part of. It's not just about who you get. It's about recycling and moving on. At the minute, this problem we've got with all the youngsters kicking a can down the road, we're going to have the same conversation next summer.
Yeah. Daniel says, that's the thing I want to say. How can we spend £35 million on a player and within 4 months the manager doesn't have the confidence to pick him in the Champions League? Yeah, I mean, Jimbo, of course, been left out of the Champions League squad. Are you surprised? I mean, it's a big signing, really.
Look, when you look at the players that are there, maybe he could have left one of the goalkeepers out and put him in. But has he earned the right to be in the Champions League team? That's what you got to look at, right? With the chances he's had on the pitch, has he earned the right to be in the team? Look, I'm not going to slag Tell down because I think that he needs time at this club and he needs some time with Frank. But he hasn't earned the right to be in the team, Kate. When he's come on the pitch, he hasn't done it, has he? People are picking out, when Tell plays, people are picking out one moment that he spun and shot at the goal. That's only one moment that he's done, in the time he was on the pitch. He hasn't, for me, he hasn't earned the right. If you ask all Spurs fans, right, if it was out of Odegaard and Tell, who are you going to pick? You're going to pick Odegaard because I think
pick out the 3. You've got Johnson, Odegaard, and Tell, and Tell and Johnson. They are that one moment in a game player. I think at least Odegaard tries and gives you a game, and he's trying. I think a bit more.
Yeah, I don't think he earned the right to be in it, Kate. So I agree with the decision, and I think that if he looks in the mirror at himself and says, "Do I deserve to be in that squad?" I think he's the answer he's got to tell himself is no, because he didn't deserve to be in it.
Yeah, I mean, Martin, do you think, I was listening on the telly and they were saying, this could knock his confidence and whatnot. What's your thoughts? I mean, everyone can't go to the Champions League squad, let's be fair.
No, the signing for me, and I'm going to stand by this, only my opinion, but that was done last year, and this was to offset the Kane money. Bayern have gone, look, instead of stringing this out, take him. He's going to be a good prospect. He's going to earn you 50 million. You bought another potential, and if he does come good in 3 years, he's going to make you 30, 40 million, but Frank didn't sign him. You know, he was in before Frank, so that's not on Frank. That one. What he has done in that with the PSG game and that, like he missed a penalty, he got a load of racial abuse wrong, so his confidence has got to be shot anyway. Frank's seeing him behind the scenes every day. We're seeing him on a match day. So there's got to be something in it. It can't just be right, flip a coin for someone else. There's a reason he is left out, and that's Frank's decision. So, you know, he still gets to play in the Premier League or the cup games. It's only, you know, not everyone can be in it. And if we bought another 2 or 3 players that we was all open for, there'd be another 2 or 3 on that list with him. So it just because it looks a bit isolated because, you know, the others are injuries and then there's him. But as I say, if we went out and bought a Savinio and a Lookman and something else and another Kanji, there'd be 2 or 3 sitting out there with him.
Oh, if Madison was fit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's someone had to go and just, but I do think it's a part statement from Frank that, you know, I didn't buy him. He ain't what I wanted. You know, that is 100% club signing.
I do wonder whether we're going to see him leaving in the not too distant future, because let's be fair, if a manager doesn't want him and he's not going to particularly play him unless he has to, the player's not going to get the time that he wants on the pitch either. So I'm wondering if Tell could be, I mean, we paid 35 million for him. I'm pretty sure we could get
plus
that
5 million for the loan. So you're in at 40.
Yeah.
What you're going to get? No, if he ain't going to get in the Spurs team, like, who's he going to? West Ham?
Maybe we could get him sold abroad. Who knows? But, you know, this is the bad.
Before we start jumping the gun with all that, I think he needs to have a bit of time here. Right? Sometimes it takes players a bit of time, and he needs to have some time working with Frank and the coaches. And let's see at the end of the season where we are with him.
He's not playing with the reserves, is he? He's just not in one competition. We're still in 3 others. He's got to take his chance.
He looks a bit like the rabbit in the headlights when he plays for Spurs. I think it might just be a step. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm trying to be positive about Tell because I really want him to work out, but I do find him frustrating. I haven't seen anything there particularly that's made me go, oh, but there is that.
The worries is that Johnson's being put in front of him. If he feels he's been bought for the left wing and he's going to fight it out with his mate Odegaard, he's got all right. And all of a sudden he's gone, wow, Johnson's just thrown in and he does nothing, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you want confidence, there's only one way to do it. Work hard, prove to the manager you can get in. Come on, prove to the fans you can do it. Bang. Only takes one good game and 1 goal and everyone will love you. It's when you're not doing it, and every time you're consistently not doing it, that's when fans turn.
Yeah. So you planning to come over this season for a game or 2, Martin?
Well, we'll see after January how it goes on. But yeah, no, I'd like to. Yeah, I think I will get over. Me and Jim are going to have a weekend away, apparently, while you're with all your other men that you're doing stuff with. Once you put your Christmas out the way and all the other stuff, me and Jim are going to go and have a weekend somewhere.
Do you know what? It was really funny on deadline day. This is the God's honest truth. Mickey Hazard rung me and he went, Kate, I need to tell you something, but you've got to swear to me you cannot tell anyone. And I went, I won't. He said, you can't put it on your podcast. This is confidential. And it's like, really, you mustn't tell anyone. I said, Mickey, I won't tell anyone, I swear. And he went, I'm actually in talks with Tottenham for a comeback. And I was so disappointed because I really thought he had some breaking news for me that I was going to know and actually have an in the know. And that was it. And
what would you have done? It would have burnt an hole in your back pocket, not being able to tell it. No, you're so happy you've got the information, but you wouldn't be able to tell anyone. It would kill you.
I know it would. It would drove me mad. But I was so disappointed. He thought it was hilarious. But yeah, that was the only information I got from my in the know. Another load of nonsense.
Well, you need to stop texting me more. That's the thing, Kate.
I know. Martinio Knightsbridge.
Yeah, did we? This window.
What's that, Jim?
Didn't get much off a Drooler this window.
She did well. She gave us some tips of things that were happening. Drula, she's out in the know in the UK, and Martin's out in the know in Espanol, who knows Xavi Simmons.
Yeah. Come
Shame
on,
you didn't
Drew. Do your best.
Shame you didn't keep in touch with him. He might have been able to get you some seats for Spurs.
That's it. Like my boy used to follow him because like that's when like Instagram and all that come out. So when like my boy was like 12, 13, like, and his Instagram was just, I don't know, sitting in an orange grove or something, where Xavi's sitting there doing kick-ups with Neymar and all that. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, I think at about the age of 11 or 12, I think he had like 1 million followers on Insta.
Wow.
And it was all doing headers with Neymar and all that. And he you know what I mean? That's so he's superstars. He has just been around and grown. Even our Poch had a look at him and took him over there.
Yeah.
So
he does look like the actual real deal. Big up Dermatron for becoming a new member. Thank you very much. I have set up a redirect for when we finish in about 5 minutes to go over to Ben.
Drula's in.
Yeah, look, Julia said, I did say about Xavi from the start of the window, just saying. I think of all the players that we bought, more obviously Kudus and Paulinho were proven already. I think I'm the most excited about seeing Xavi, because when you watch him play, he's just something really special. I mean, I still pinch myself that we've managed to get it over the line, because he looks like a little, what's the word? What's it called? I can't remember the word. I'm getting old.
Your new infatuation. That's what he looks like.
No, he plays the way he wants to play. He doesn't care.
100%.
He's got that flair.
I'll send you a link, Kate, to a video that they've took him from that age, and it mentions like the school that the team that he was in, and from the day he was born. There's a photo of him the day he was born. He's got him home, and his dad's got a football at his feet.
Really?
Yeah, I'll send you the link to the video, and it's fascinating to watch. But you know, you'll see the pressures and that. But he was born to be a footballer, and now the White Hart Lane is his spiritual home, and he gives us that 5 years, and then everyone wants him, and we come in and we go, no, we don't need to sell no more. We're keeping him. You know, I really hope for us, not just for him, but for us, that this is the one.
It's nice to have a player like him, a player like Kudus and Kolo Muani that are actually going to get us off our seats, because I think that's something that we've all been crying out for.
Muani, I hope he comes in and just like, you watched it. Have you seen his interview? He says, I want to do this. And do you know what? Yeah. The Xavi and Muani, they both said after speaking to the manager, and Muani says, I already know the manager from before, and I spoke to him. So Frank, like all these people are going, Frank's got no pull. Like he has.
Yeah, exactly. Dermatron's joined us for the last few minutes. Dermot, big up. How are you?
I'm all right, Kate.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Right. How is everyone? Is that brother?
We're good, thank you. What's your thoughts on what's been happening at Spurs the last 24 hours or so?
Surprised and not surprised, I think is my answer. I was hearing from people that I know that something was happening, but I didn't think to this extent that it would be him being evicted from the club, basically. I do think he was pushed. I don't think he walked willingly. I think he was pushed out the club. I think the Vivian Lewis and the younger Lewis generation have now decided enough is enough. We're going to now bring this club forward. Now, does that mean a partial sale or a full sale to a Saudi or Qatari? That could be in the making too, because Daniel Levy could have been the obstacle of the Lewis family selling their shares in Spurs. So we have to see what happens over the next 3 to 4 months where this leads us. But it's exciting times. It's a new era of Tottenham Hotspur. Daniel Levy's gone. And where you can fault him for everything that has happened on the pitch, you can't fault him for everything he's done off the pitch.
Agreed.
He's made us more financially secure. We can all remember the times when we nearly went bankrupt under Scholar and the torture we all felt back then. And then you had Sugar come in, who I think Sugar doesn't get enough credit than he deserves. I think as bad as he was, he laid the foundations for us to be stable. And I think Levy took it on to another level. But on the pitch, that is what we care about. That is what we all care about. It's winning trophies, being successful, competing, and we weren't doing that. And I think we had to change, and I'm glad it has. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm still stunned. I'm still stunned that he's gone. It is a bit of, can get your head around it, but it's exciting.
Yeah, I do wonder what some of these podcasts are going to talk about now, because so many are focused around Levy out. It does make you wonder what they're going to talk about from here on in. But look, it's interesting times. I agree with what you said about Vivian Lewis. I think she's obsessed with football. I like her already because she sounds like me. And she doesn't care about the hotels. She doesn't care about any of that. She wants success.
Just loves to name drop. She's just one of them, isn't she?
Yeah, she's one of them. So as soon as we saw her at the match sitting next to Levy,
look. On
the telly, we weren't there. I said to Jim, "That's Vivian Lewis there. Maybe she's going to start getting more involved." And what next thing we know, Levy has been pushed out the door. So look, it is exciting times. We wait to see. There's rumours about Qataris having interest in the football club. I don't know.
Were they the ones that because there was two, weren't there? One and Levy wanted to wean himself out over 3 years, and one of them wanted him gone. But I don't know. Was the Qataris that one?
The Qataris were the ones that were going to invest in France, but they put a stop to it or something. So now they're looking at Tottenham.
Well, I read the owners of PSG are interested.
I read the same thing, Jim. That they want to put out a PSG because I think they've done what they wanted to do there. No, and I think that, and he was best mates with. He's very close friends with Daniel Levy. So, but I just think, you know, the Lewis family, Vivian Lewis, who I think, I'm glad she's now taken an up stake in there. Her dad hasn't owned the club for a good, but must be about 4 years since he relinquished his ownership, put it into the trust. So, do you know what I mean? It's nice to know that they have now taken interest, but they want to see success on the field. And that's what we all want. We all want Tottenham to be successful. It's a balancing act, but I think sometimes you got to throw it the wind. You got to say, right, we're going for it. And I think that's what we want.
This time next year, we'll be champions. That's what we're going to start saying.
I think she's grows, isn't she? She's that mean I'm in charge.
Yeah, she's just dreaming. She's dreaming.
You're in charge now, Jim.
Well, we got her in, didn't we? Oh, she here? Here she is.
Oh, we got two of them. Look,
we got two Kates now.
Who'd have thought that?
That, Jim. Having two of them. Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Trouble, boy.
I tell you what, after the stream, we're straight in the bedroom.
Honestly, Jimbo, what are you like? Look, I'm going to have to go because Ben is streaming at 2. I want to say a massive thank you to El Dante, being a member 15 months, Jess for 8 months, Ben for 22 months, Steve D for 22 months, Vindaloo for the super chat, Harmless Potato for 7 months, Rob United for becoming a new member, Moondog for the two super chats. We gifted some memberships. Harmless Potato gifted a membership, and Dermatron became a member. And thank you, as always, Martin. It's always a pleasure having you on, our Spanish correspondent. Very reliable.
I'll send you an invoice later. I'll send you an invoice later.
Do that. I'll give it to Jim. And Dermot, lovely to have you on. Obviously, Ben as well, and AJ who came on. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We will be back next week. We're away for a few days next week, but we will be back. Big up Nick Lazy 8 comes in with a super sticker, whatever it's called, like a membership milestone thing, saying, what did I miss? Did something happen? Just some geezer called Levy. I've never heard of him. Apparently he's
nothing happened here.
No, yeah, move along. But thank you to everyone for watching, for all the likes, all the subscribes, for the people that came on the member show. Dermot, anything happening over at THFC till I die?
Yeah, we're gonna have a few days off Spurs, but no, I'm changing the show tonight. It's all about Levy and what's the new beginnings at Tottenham, what we're gonna look at, what needs to happen. And then, yeah, we're going to have a few days off. I'm away for the next few days, so I'm having a few days off, and then we're all gearing up for West Ham.
Yes,
Just
exactly.
just to teach them a lesson that, you know, you can't mess with this North London giant. We're going to come. We're going to. I mean, who plays with bubbles? Please tell me.
I know.
Grown men plays with bubbles. Jesus, I mean, get on with it. You know,
the last
grow
person
up,
to do
West
that
Ham.
was Michael Jackson, and we all know what happened to that monkey. I'm talking about Bubbles, the monkey, by the way. He used to play with Bubbles quite a lot, from what I've heard. But anyway, I digress. Stay where you are. You will be transferred over to Ben. Have a great day, everyone. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Adios.
Giving opinions with no regret, smashing the top bins like in the onion net. Talking the talk with Kate and Jim, and walking the walk, just listen in. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news, it's what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jimbo always keeps a positive spin, while Kate's Mickey has a name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like Lenny, stop robbing, or she's just flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. The perfect match, you just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match, you just got to latch onto that perfect match.